G'day, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Art of War Down Under. This is episode 208. We're going to be reviewing the Thirsty Boys, the Blood Angels, always seeing Horus, always be charging, never quite stable. Sanguinius is dead. Chapter of your dreams. I am joined by the Boy King himself, brand new WTC ambassador, John Lennon. Hello, mate.
Hello, Adam. It is good to be back on the show.
It's always a pleasure to have you, my dude. Back from another quite successful campaign at the WTC. Didn't quite get the gold, but you were playing for it, which is the next best thing. How you feeling?
Feeling good, I wish I had someone to commiserate with about playing for gold and then losing. But until I find that man, I'll just have to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly right. Who else would ever have done that in 2019? Never met him. Anyway, Blood Angels Codex review, guys. So hopefully you guys are excited about this one. And is it just me or has Blood Angels been busted at one point or another for every edition since 8th? Like
Yeah,
8th edition. Yeah.
They always get their moment. They always get their time in the sun, and we're kind of already there for Blood Angels.
Yeah.
Right?
So this is the tone down point, I guess. 8th edition, they had all the Smash captains, which were like fight 3 times, kill the world. In 9th edition, well, they won the ITC, courtesy of Jack. And yeah, this edition, they've been the best Space Marine ever since we had our Ironstorm nerf. So let us see what this Codex wields. If you want to go over and jump over and get to part 2 of this one, where John and I will answer Patreon questions and design a couple of lists, come over to Art of War Down Under over on Patreon. Join it there. Tell us about the War Room, though, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you aren't already a member, you should check out the Art of War Room and just, the Art of War main channel in general, because that's where we put a lot of our best content. If you want to get the Florida Art of War crew's perspective on everything from how to play against certain factions, quality battle reports, master classes, and mission prep. Just everything good under the sun. You can find it on our website, theworm.vhx.tv, and you can even get a free trial there if you want to check it out for yourself. And maybe you're a little shy on the trigger.
Lovely. All right, so we are reviewing this thing. This is Man Reed's book. You know it, you'd love it. It's Art of War's Modus Operandi. The Down Under versions, Modus Operandi. We're going to be starting this review on page 70, should you have your codexes in your hot little hands. But first, we do our hot takes, mate. What is your hot take of this codex?
Hot take of the Codex is that this is such a points-dependent codex because the data sheets might find themselves lacking. This could be the opposite of Dark Angels, where the Dark Angels you had some solid data sheets, and then the detachments were super disappointing. And I think we have at least one really quality detachment here for Blood Angels. But then not the characters. The characters are amazing, but the unit data sheets have the potential to be a little bit of a letdown unless points come in and save them. There is a right price for all of this.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's also a wrong price in both directions for all of this, in which case, if it's too high, this army does not function. If it's too low, oh my God, why did they do that to us? It's MSU, jumpy, angry boys all over my face, and there's nothing I can do about it, which are all things that can occur in this codex. My hot take is I really like these detachments. I think these detachments, unlike the Dark Angels ones, which is the only thing we have to compare this to, because it's the only other, chapter-specific codex that we have so far, these detachments are so much better than the Dark Angels ones. They are, and they do way, way, way more than the Dark Angels ones do for the Blood Angel specific units. Each one of these makes the Blood Angel specific units seem very appealing and takeable, whereas the Dark Angels one it's fairly lackluster for all the contemporaries. Does that resonate with you, mate?
Yeah, completely. I think that I very much expect that no matter where the power level ends up, Blood Angels will remain an army that is very willing to take their detachments. I can see Blood Angels being good. I can see them being mediocre. I can see them being broken. There's good rules and bad in here, but they're Blood Angels rules.
Yeah, but what you're saying is no matter which one of those, most likely if you're playing Blood Angels, you will choose to play one of these over a Gladius, which is the opposite for Dark Angels. So that's encouraging at the very least. All right. First up is your reskinned index detachment. This is the Liberator Assault Group, but enough has changed here that we have to review it again. Red Thirst is stayed the same in its tuned up version, as in the +1 attack and the +2 strength. So that is really nice. I did have a little fear in my heart that it would go back to +1 strength, and this would be a quite significant nerf because you'd really miss a couple of the major breakpoints. Still a good enhancement. Still a good detachment rule, right? Still really good, actually.
Yeah, still is super strong detachment rule. The breakpoints that it hits right now still exist, and so getting strength 7 blade guard and strength 10 power fist and strength 6 chain swords is still incredibly relevant. And Blood Angels keeping that is a good sign for them.
Yep, agreed. All right, first of the enhancements, and we're going to do a usual tit for tat. So I'll go, John goes. Speed of the Primarch is first up. This is Adeptus Starters model only. Really, what a surprise. Adeptus, I can't take it on an Orc model. Once per battle at the start of the fight phase, the bearer can use this enhancement. If it does until the end of the phase, models in the bearer's unit have the Fight's First ability. That is sick.
Insanity. That's
so
crazy.
Good.
That's crazy.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It not even having a command point cost means the play around is bite the leather and go in.
Yeah, there is no play around. You're just going to get done by this. It's 30 points, as it should be. It could possibly even be 40, and you probably still pay it as well. This is an auto freaking take in every sense of the word.
Yeah, fantastic enhancement. I'm not going to be surprised to see this in every list, and it's going to be one of those things where when you play against Blood Angels, you're going to ask, all right,
who's got it? Yeah.
Who do I have to shoot?
Yeah, because you cannot fight. Yeah, really good enhancement. What's the next one?
Rage Fueled Warrior. This one is another once per battle. At the start of the fight phase, bear can use the enhancement. If it does, the bear's melee weapons have sustained hits 3.
Wowee.
It's once a game, but like, ooh.
I know, I like the buff, but in all honesty, I'm not sure when you need this. Dark Angels may struggle for killing power now, but I'm going to wait till I know that they're struggling for killing power before I take this enhancement, I think.
I think you would put it on the
10 points,
on just
though.
Yeah, I mean, for 10 points, you're obviously taking it. I think you just put it on a foot captain, and that foot captain pops Finest Hour and Rage on the Oath target once a game, and he just screams at Horus.
Dude, 100%. So is it 9 attacks? Hitting on 2s, re-rolling everything, a triple exploding 6s, dev wounds. Yikes.
Yeah, that'd be spooky.
Yikes. It's pretty spooky. All right, Icon of the Angel. This is each time an enemy unit, excluding monsters and vehicles, within engagement range of the bearer's unit is selected to fall back. Models in the enemy unit must take a desperate escape. And if they are battle shocked, subtracting 1. So if you fall back, you die in a 1 or a 2. If you are battle shocked, 1, 2, 3. Not a bad one. I'm not sure how to leverage it best. It will cost you only 10 points, though.
This one's a redo. This is the only one I believe that is returning from the last detachment. It's good. It's probably the best one right now. It's not mandatory, but for 10 points, if you can put it on a durable unit that's willing to consolidate into someone interesting, or frankly, if it's a melee unit that people absolutely cannot stay in combat with, then you'll get something.
Yeah. But the issue for me is the only one in the previous. So in the previous incarnation, the only units that I quantified this being on is 10 Vanguard Vets unit, or the other one I really wanted on. It's fantastic on Lamarty's unit, but you can't put it on Lamarty's unit because he's a special character and you can't join another character. Because they're the only 2 units that you think that they reach that breakpoint that opponents have to shoot them if they think they're going to one-turn them because of their invulns and or AOC and or -1 damage. But yeah.
See Sengard at the right cost wanting an icon. But that's basically it.
We'll cross that Rubicon Primaris when we get to it. Hey, bang, bang. Ooh. Last one, mate.
Gift of Foresight. Once per battle round, after making a hit, wound, or save roll for the bearer, you can treat the result as an unmodified 6 instead. So, that's cool. It's only once per battle round, and it's only for the bearer. It's not for the unit.
Yes. It's still, essentially 5 free flips on a, you know, take a Thunderhammer captain. That's a free flip for a dev 5 times a game.
Yeah, if it's cheap, I'll send it, but I'm
It's
not.
15.
Yeah, if I had 15, and I would probably take this over Icon, and I think you would want it on someone with dev wounds.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Other one is actually not bad on Inferno Pistol because you're just getting in melter range, flip a 6, get the melter 2, actually wound a vehicle. But anyway, into the stratagem suite, we have Angelic Grace. Of course, sorry, we'll just say so now. Every single one of these detachments has Armor Contempt in it. We will say Armor Contempt and then we'll move on because no need to read it. Any phase for Angelic Grace is 1 CP. Any phase just after a Adeptus Starters unit from your army suffers a mortal wound, 1 CP. You have a 5 up for no pain against mortal wounds. I mean, of course, I always like the timing on these. You wait to see if the Imperial Knight blows up and deals you 6 mortal wounds, and then you turn the CP on the 5 up for no pain. But still, not a you know, tell everybody about stratagem. It's not amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. Occasionally, when you hit enough mortal wounds that this matters, it'll be nice to have.
Yeah. I should also, before we go into the next 4, because the next 4 all have the same kind of, they all kind of have the same trick as, I guess, the Dread Mob, where you get to push the button and you get the more better. In all these next 4 stratagems, you can choose, so one of 2 things, one of 2 buffs, or you can choose to become battle shocked and get both. And specifically, all these shout out that you get the effects of the stratagem even though you are battle shocked. But yeah, take it away, mate.
Yeah, so let's start off with Savage Echoes. This is 1 command point in your opponent's charge phase, not yours, opponent's. Right after one of your units gets charged by an enemy unit, you can either get +1 strength or +1 attack for melee weapons of the unit. So basically, you kind of get to pick a part of the detachment rule, and you get it. And if you want to, you can have both. But if you do your battle shocked, like Adam said.
Yeah, how do you feel about this mechanic? This second trigger, like become battle shocked. I mean, it's very thematic for the Red Thirst. Like they lose their mind and
Yeah,
cohesion in battle, and
it's
lose their OC.
interesting. I have some ideas about how to get around that. I'll go over, before we close out the detachment. I think it's a cool mechanic. I don't love this specific stratagem because I feel like if you're getting charged and then you're popping the strat, you're saying, yeah, you're charging me, but I'm gonna have enough, I'm gonna have enough juice by the end of
Yeah,
it that you're gonna regret it, and that it was
yeah,
worth a CP, and that I don't mind being battle shocked. And
correct,
because it's in your opponent's charge phase, you won't be able to use any other stratagems in the fight phase, such as Armor Contempt. Because if
correct.
I'm getting hit and I want to hit back hard enough, I think I'd rather pop AOC most of the time than Savage Echoes.
Yeah, I mean, because exactly right. Unless you're comboing it with the fights first, in which case you go for it, son. You power
Yeah.
soup those, kill that Horus, get him.
If they're charging the fights first unit, pop off.
They already know what they did wrong. Well, I could see people charging the fights first unit with rhinos and nonsense to try and keep it there, especially if it's not going to like one tap durable vehicles. Hell, I was already like, oh, I'm just going to ram a Lehman Russ into that guy ASAP, try and keep him there. And yeah, bang, Savage Echoes, I get punished.
Yeah, and it is nice as a you can't tie me up, but
Yeah,
as we know, there's also a fallback in charge stratagem. So
correct.
it's interesting. I don't think this is going to be the one you're spamming out every turn.
This one is though. Red Rampage is your fight phase Lance or lethals or Battle Shock in both. So you can become Battle Shocked and have Lance and lethals for 1 CP. Very, very good return. If you're not planning to flip the objective, you just want them to be a red paste with your Red Rampage. Great strat. 1 CP Lance is already fantastic. Already good enough. And if lethal hits gives you a breakpoint via use of like Oath of Moment rerolls and stuff like that, so much the better. Slap it down and send it.
Yeah, 100%. Next up, we have Aggressive Onslaught. God, I love not having to specify whether these are battle tactics.
Yes.
For 1 command point, this is after a Adeptus Astartes unit from your army advances in the movement phase, you're either eligible to shoot, or eligible to charge, or battle shocked in both. So
yeah,
1 CP advance and shoot, or advance and charge are both great stratagems.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, man. I of course, Blood Angels need advances in charging. I hate that they always get it, and no one else in the
Yep.
game gets it very often. But Blood Urges just get it like just money raining from the sky. This is a great stratagem, though. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's one that I doubt you can use the battle shock on because it's in your movement phase. You have to choose to be battle shocked
Yeah.
in your movement phase.
If I have to roll a greater than 2-inch charge, I'm keeping that CP online.
Yeah,
So, but still, 1 CP advance and charge. There is not a lot of instances of where you would need to advance and shoot and a
and
charge,
charge. Correct. Well,
but
there's just not.
I
There's
still
just not
just
many
like the
units.
stratagem. Yeah.
There's just not many units that get a huge return from shooting before they charge the thing.
Yeah, like aggressors
Yeah.
who have assault weapons,
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah,
but aggressors have assault weapons, I think.
it's correct. I believe you're
So
correct.
yeah, I don't know. I
Um,
still like advance and shoot, to be clear, because if you have something like a redeemer, just having that option is nice. But I just don't think this is one where you're going to battle shock yourself too often.
Agreed. All right, Relentless Assault is the last one. 1 CP. In your movement phase, just after an deputy status unit from your army falls back. 1 CP, unit's eligible to either shoot or charge, even though it just fell back, or 1 CP, you battle shocked and you get both. So 1 CP fallback, shoot, and charge is the best going rate for the stratagem in the game, for that version of the stratagem in the game. Comes with the caveat of course, being battle shocked, but you're not gonna care. This is a great version of the strat and really, really important to the overall package, I think.
Yeah. The last two strats are just clutch. Advance and do the thing you want. Fall
Yeah.
back and do the thing you want.
Yep, agreed.
That is a
Yeah,
good place to live.
so 2 strats to up lethality, one being weirdly timed in your opponent's charge phase, the other one just being bang, mother's milk, lance and lethals, absolutely amazing. An awkward 5 up, feel no pain, and then 2 very good utility strats. How do you make up the entirety of the Liberator assault group package, my dude?
So I like the stratagems here a good amount. You have the bare necessities that a melee army wants. You have hit someone by going faster, hit someone when falling back, hit harder, be tougher.
Yep.
Right? You've got the core food groups all in this detachment. This is good stratagems. Like 4 of these, I think, are very good, and
Agreed, yeah.
2 of them are situationally kind of nice to have. And you just don't need 6 great stratagems because you're going to be happy slamming advance and charge, lance, advance and charge, lance.
Correct.
Ooh, armor of contempt. Like you have plenty to do with your command points here. You'll be fine. Overall, I rate this quite highly. The notable exclusion, because obviously we have to compare this to the Antex detachment, is that you lost fight on death.
Correct.
But
Which
you
is big.
gained advance and charge.
I don't know which.
Yeah, I don't know which I'd rather have, but it's not. In no way is it a strict downgrade. My initial take is that it's a small upgrade on the detachment. I think the detachment is better than before.
I generally agree that the detachment is better than before. We do both agree that the units are worse than they were before. So maybe this levels out a little bit. I think Spray to the Primarch makes up for a bit of that psychological nuance that you lost with the fight on death. At least now you have a fights first threat that you can say, how well this is the bringing. And when you factor in the fact that you now have Mephiston with fights first, Sanguinor with fights first, and another captain with the once per game fights first, you actually wield quite a lot of fights first. It can actually be quite punitive.
Yeah, I
quite
think
scary.
that means it'll end up just fine for them, is what I'm expecting here.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm expecting too.
Yeah, really good stuff all the way down. This detachment's great. I think this is just a really strong detachment.
Totally agree. All right, next up, Lost Brethren. The detachment rule is a noble death in combat. Each time a death company model from your army makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1 if the unit is below starting strength. If you're below half strength, it will reroll the entire wound roll instead. And you get Death Company Marines. Death Company Marines with bolt rifles. That's Death Company Intercessors. As your army in battle line. They become battle line. So, la diddly da. How do you feel about the detachment rule?
I hate it.
Me too.
It's that it doesn't start with something.
Correct. You actually start with no detachment rule, and if your opponent just kills whole units, you have no detachment rule the entire game.
Yeah, I love the rule getting better as you get damaged.
Yeah.
I wish that it had been you reroll ones to wound, flat period all the time, and if you're below half strength, you reroll the wound roll. Like just take away the starting strength part, because like when is a death? It just means you don't try to shoot one death company away, and that's fine. Or if you do, you accept that Death Company are already killing what they hit.
Correct.
Ah,
Yeah.
I
To
just
me,
don't.
this is a nothing burger detachment. Detachment
Al-
rule. It does not
Also,
matter.
can I make a small nitpick here?
Sure.
I kind of wish it worked in shooting. You have Death
Yeah,
Company
that's
with
fair.
bolt rifles.
That's fair.
Like, like come
Yeah.
on, give
Yeah.
the bolt guns a couple of rerolls. It'll be fine.
Oh, mate, I was actually I'm going to be talking about the fact that they're trying really hard to make the bolt rifle of Death Company Marines pushed very, very, very hard, and he's still not going to take him. So
Yeah.
it's a very funny series of things. Yeah, but yeah, the detachment rule is quite a big letdown. Let us hope the rest of the package is awesome. What's the first enhancement?
All right. The first enhancement is Sanguinius Grace, and that is once per battle at the end of the fight phase. If the bear is within engagement range of 3 or more models, the bearer can fight an additional time. We made it over a year into the edition. We finally have a fight twice. You still with me, Adam?
I was muted because I was coughing. Yeah.
No problem. So you want me to just start over with Sanguinius Grace?
3, 2, 1. Yeah, so this is literally the first fights twice in 10th edition. And I mean, it doesn't come without caveat. It's only 20 points in the current points in the enhancements in the back of the book. Is this auto take, or is this just too cute and not going to happen?
I think it's a little too cute. So here's the thing. The bearer, specifically the guy, has to be
Correct.
within engagement range of 3 enemy models to trigger this, which means he needed to go hit something and not kill it. Then he has to be within an inch of 3 guys. And what I'm
Hmm.
thinking as an opponent is if I have, I think this has a lot of potential because if you pull it off, an extra activation on a finest hour
Yeah.
captain is
Yeah.
smoking hot. However, let's just look at this. If you charge me and you start wailing on me, I'm gonna leave the guy who's basing the captain, and I'm gonna pull until there's not 3 guys
Correct.
within specifically an inch of him, and I will just intentionally not consolidate to make that happen. So I think where this is best is when the unit goes in and kills something and consolidates into a fresh unit, just
Fresh
finds
unit.
a new unit to fight.
Yeah.
So I would want to see a consolidate further stratagem before I really believed that this was useful.
Well, in not quite good news, I believe there's almost something like that coming. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. Next up, we have the Blood Shard. The first time the bearer is destroyed, you get back up on a 2+, with 3 wounds remaining. It'll run you 25 points, and I actually think it's pretty good.
Yeah, that seems great. That's useful. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up next is the best name of the book so far, To Slay the War Master.
Yes.
Obviously, all of these enhancements are Death Company only, by the way. And once per battle at the start of the fight phase, if the bear is within engagement range of 1 or more character units, you can select one of those character units and roll 6 dice. Every 4 up is immortal. And specifically, those mortal
Yes.
wounds go onto
The
one character
character.
model.
You grenade precision a character in a character unit once per battle. This is actually kind of cute. I'm not sure if it's
I
good,
like
but I like it.
I like it. If I'm gonna precision out a nerd, I might as well start the ball.
Yep.
And also, notably, this one does not have to have line of sight,
Line of
even though
sight.
it's pseudo precision.
So there is a model in the game at the moment that is probably going to pick up a lot of steam, where I like to say to slay the War Master is fantastic. Accursed freaking cultists that have this one guy with 3 freaking wounds, giving the whole unit a 5+ invulnerable save. Just
Now, hang on,
in combat,
Adam.
grenade that guy to the face.
We all know that if you slay someone like a character, their rule sticks around for the rest of that activation. But this
So
isn't an activation. It's
no,
at
it's
the start
not.
of the fight phase.
Yep.
Oh man, heresy gets rewarded.
This is very good.
Yeah,
Still,
this one's super dope. I would take
it's
this.
fun. It's fun. All right. Last one is Vengeful Onslaught. Of course, Death Company model only. If the bearer is destroyed until the end of your next turn, each time a friendly Death Company model makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So so get this guy killed, army-wide +1 to hit, shooting and combat. This is interesting. I'm not sure how good it is. It is only 10 points.
What I know is that when I play the Blood Angel Mirror, my Vengeful Onslaught Captain will be charging the speed of the Primarch guy.
That's fair. Yeah, that is very fair.
Let's go. The enhancements here are cool. None of them are like insane, but no. I think 3 of them are useful. I think the fight additional one is the worst because it's a little hard to set up if your opponent knows what's coming.
Correct. Yeah. The better your opponent, the less good that is.
Yeah.
The only reason I like it is because if you are able to tap into a new unit, they have to choose to not pile in and hit your unit. It's a deterrent for them to actually activate. If they have if you can reach out and tap another unit, and you get to tell your opponent, if you want to pile in at the end of the fight phase, if this guy's alive, he's going to kill your whole squad. And so you actually get them to stop hurting your unit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there is some value. None of these are cute. Bad. Yeah. And maybe if I put it on the table, I'd feel a little bit better about it. Because it's a 40mm base, and to some armies, you probably can just get them within decent range of 3 guys and call it a day.
All right, what's the first of the strats?
All right, this is Glorious Sacrifice. 1 command point in any phase. When a Death Company unit from your army is destroyed within range of an objective marker you control, you use the stratagem, even though they were destroyed. And you sticky the objective. So this is the thing we've seen in World Eaters and Penitent Hosts put onto Death Company.
It has to be one that you control already. So if you don't have a Chappie, you don't have the OC, you don't have the control, but you're going to have chaplains. What are we talking about? So yeah, this is just fine. It's pretty good.
Yeah, good. Solid stratagem. It's quite good in those armies. And I think if you take this detachment, you're likely leaning into a bunch of 5-mans because there are quite a Death Company keyword around. So I think this is just good. Just good.
Yeah, I think it's totally good as well. All right. Next up, we have Armor Contempt, which we're skipping, and Final Retribution. This is 1 CP. In the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, 1 Death Company unit from your army that's selected to fight has not been selected to fight. This is Fight on Death. It is a 4+ unless you're within 12 of a chaplain, in which case it is a 3+. So this is where the Fight on Death went to. And it makes a lot of sense for the Death Company to have it now.
Yeah, this is totally good. And 1 CP 3-up Fight on Death is probably better than 2 CP Fight on Death, just because the CP cost is real easy to bear.
Yeah.
And it being a 3+ almost all the time because you want them chaplains in here.
Correct.
That's totally fine. I quite like this.
Yeah, me too. I think it's fantastic. All right, what's next?
Furious Onslaught. Oh, brother. 1 Death Company unit from your army just before the unit piles in. And it can move D3 plus 3 inches on the pile and move instead of 3. If you're within 12 of a chaplain, it's 6. However, you still have to follow the rules for pile-ins. This is just the pile-in, not the consolidate.
Exactly right. This is what I said before.
So close.
We kind of almost have a thing, but not really. Yeah. 1 CP super pile-in is still not bad. A 6-inch pile-in is kind of cute, especially when you can fight everything. Don't have to have charged the unit to fight it in this edition. But yeah, you can jank this, I think, to make some pretty cute things happen, but it's not incredible.
I think the biggest thing is charging multiple Death Company into a screen, obliterating the screen, and then saying, hey, was anyone within 7 of that screening unit? Haha.
Dead. Eat him. Yep. I get you.
That seems good.
Next up, Lost to Rage. It's 1 CP in the fight phase. 1 Death Company unit from army that is below starting strength. It has not been selected to fight this phase. Wish it didn't say the below starting strength caveat. To the end of the phase, improve the strengths, attacks, and armor penetration characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in the unit by 1. If you're within 12 of a chaplain, you don't have hazardous. Otherwise, if you're not within 12 of the chaplain, your models will have hazardous on their attacks. But 1 CP improved attack, strength, and AP. That is one of the best damage enhancing CP in the game. Doesn't come without the caveat. You do need to be below starting strength. But man, if you just have like 2 guys and need to kill a knight, you might just be able to do it.
I pity the fool who overwatches.
Correct. Oh man,
Oh
yeah,
my god.
no.
Yeah, this is one of the best strats in the game when you get to use it, which is not going to be all the
Correct.
time. Honestly, it makes me like transports a lot.
Because you take a couple of mortals on the way out. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
It
Yeah,
makes me just like a rhino with 10 idiots inside and just, oh, you killed the rhino. All right, I'm going to disembark behind the wall with 9 death company. Poor
yeah,
choice.
yeah. Whoops. The rough trot, sucker. What is the last one?
The last one is Wrathful Rampage. So, in your movement phase, after Death Company unit from your army advances, until the end of the turn, your unit's eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced.
Yep.
Uh, if it's within 12 of the chaplain, or it is below its starting strength, until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge. So that's cool. 1 CP, advance and charge, and if you're near a chaplain or have lost a dude, you can also fire a couple pistols on the way in. And that really makes me want to go reread. Do any of the other stratagems here have the below starting strength or chaplain? And I think they're just all chaplain, and this is the only place they put that limit in.
Huh. Yeah. Check. Have a quick
Adorable.
read. But I'm already pissed off because Blood Angels already have more advance and charge than every other book and most other factions combined.
Yeah.
They have 2 detachments with advance and charge in both. And guess what? The last one has advance and charge as well, just to punk the lead. And I am angry about it because it is infuriating that they took it away from everybody and then Windmill slammed it in ×3 for Blood Angels.
I want a White Scar Codex supplement so
Yeah.
badly, Adam.
Yeah.
Stormlance was not enough.
Nah, was not. This is a very good stratagem. It's extremely good. I mean, advance and charge. Oh, on a combat army, who would have thunk that would be good? As for the actual Lost Brethren entire detachment, sorry, did you figure out the chaplain
Yeah,
starting strength thing?
it's just that. It's
Yeah,
just this stratagem is the only place that timing pops up, which is weird, but I mean, nice, I guess. Sure.
yeah, sure. How do you
Still
feel
a
about
great
the
strat.
detachment overall?
Yeah, so I like this more to this time around that I read it, honestly. The detachment rule really lets me down.
Yeah, me too.
And but like the rest of it is good. Like the enhancements are fine. There's some rather good stratagems in here. The problem I keep running into is why wouldn't I just take a bunch of Death Company and run them in Liberators and hit
Correct.
way harder?
Yeah. What in this makes Death Company better than +1 attack, +2 strength?
Yeah, you
Nothing.
get a
Nothing
y-
already. Nothing in this makes them better than that. And then you have the lance and the lethals and all the other stuff in the previous detachment.
yeah, you get a 3-up fight on death, which you can kind of get by just shoving Astarat somewhere. Um, you get advance in charge, a thing you can do in Liberators. You get armor contempt, a thing you can do in Space Marines. You get to sticky an objective, and you get hit harder when you're below starting strength. But here's the
Yep.
reality: is that you get 2/3 of those buffs just by being Liberators,
Just by having charged in
and
Liberators.
the
No T's and
detachment
C's.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
detachment rule doesn't come up enough to outweigh the fact that Liberators does the stratagem suite better, and
Yep.
and that's what kind of came back to me. I was like, every time I was reading this, I was like, wow, these are actually pretty good rules. And I like looked at the pack and I'm like, wait a minute, this is just not Liberators.
Correct.
It's a
And
good
the fun
detachment.
dude, the hilarious thing about Death Company and Liberators is that if Death Company aren't within range of their chaplain, why would you ever not choose to be battle shocked and take both parts of the Liberator buff? Because like you're not doing any, you're not falling back or doing anything anyway. You have no OC already, so bada bing, bada boom, take both. Yeah, Death Company almost feel better in Liberators than they do in their own detachment, and that is, yeah, annoying. But the thing is, like, if Liberators wasn't so good, this would be a totally fine detachment. Liberators is just better in every way, which is a little
Yep.
frustrating.
Yeah, I think that's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah,
But I agree that's where we are. Is I don't see what Lost Brethren brings that I wouldn't take Liberator, but
yep.
that's okay.
All right, next up, the Angelic Host, the last of the detachments. This is Upon Wings of Fire, and it is uppy and or downy, as in you are picking up units similar to Hypercrypt and Teleport Strike Force in Grey Knights. It's exactly the same. Picking up jump pack units, has to be jump pack units, and redeploying them via Deep Strike if they have it. Otherwise, yeah, well, they'll have Deep Strike. So, mate, firstly, I'm worried. Secondly, how do you feel about it?
Thematically, this is the detachment I was most excited for.
Me too.
So you can in Strike Force, which is the game that you will play. You can pick up and down 2 units with Deep Strike, and it's any jump pack, and it's just jump pack units go up and then they come down. I quite like this rule, and it's a little bit not obvious in how to use it because if you're just trying 9-inch charges forever, you're gonna feel bad, right?
Correct.
That's how Grey Knights lose games. Don't think that you're special because you painted them red. However, if you ever have a jump pack unit that is doing mission play or has guns, I like it a lot.
Well,
I like that
yeah.
part a lot.
On first take, I was like, this feels far more awkward to have this rule on Blood Angels when you're incentivized to take, ad nauseum melee units. So, where are we finding jump packs that shoot like, heavy destroyers, dreadnoughts, things like these, the DDAs and monoliths jumping in and out of firing lanes in Hypercrypt? Where are we finding something similar? And of course, I went straight to Inceptors. And then you said Suppressors as well, which is a unit I haven't even remembered existed for about a year. But there are things in here to add those dynamic shooting elements, right?
Yeah, I love Inceptors that go up and down. Obviously, that is something I've hung my hat on. But a 6-man Inceptor that is just teleporting around the table is insanely good value. Not having to spend CP on that is genuinely worth something. Now, obviously, we're going to be comparing this to Liberators because it is the existing good detachment. But at least it's not trying to do the same thing as Liberators, right? I don't know if this is better than the insanely good rules of Liberators, but it is very different, and so it can compete.
Yep, agreed. And I think this is interesting enough and exciting enough, dynamic enough that it will get a lot of play, regardless, just on the detachment rule. And the rest of it is a really good package as well. What's the first enhancement?
First enhancement is Artisan of War. And Adeptus Astartes jump pack model gets to improve their armor penetration characteristic by 1 for all their weapons, and they get a save of 2 up. So your jump pack captain probably gets a 2+ save and an AP3 power fist. And that is a very respectable enhancement.
Absolutely. 15 points, perfectly acceptable.
Maybe an AP5 Inferno pistol, I'd have to check.
Visage of Death is up next. These are all jump pack models, by the way. In the Battle Shock step of your opponent's command phase, each enemy unit, excluding monsters and vehicles within engagement range of the bearer, must take a Battle Shock test. So this is in the Battle Shock test of the opponent's command phase. So it's actually a timing that doesn't really work that well. It's not like in the fight phase or the charge phase or anything like that to stop your opponent doing, armor contempts or interrupts or, other stratagems and stuff like that. I'm not sure if this one holds any water for me. It's only 10 points, though.
I love it.
I knew you were going to say it.
I love it.
Always does that. Go on.
Always
Go
love
on.
Battle Shock. So it is in the Battle Shock step of your opponent's command phase, which means that it's not at the time of least convenience because it's not at the time where it's too late to change plans, but it is at the time where it has the longest impact. Because it happens if your opponent fails it, they're getting a full battle round of not enjoying life. And it's not monsters and vehicles, but it does happen before they score primary. It does happen before they try to fall back. I quite like this. Now it has to be the bearer in engagement range, so that boy needs to be leading from the front and tagging people. But I am totally down to do that. That's the whole point, right? If you're putting an Adeptus Astartes character with a jump pack, you're trying to go touch people. That's what he's there for.
Yep.
I think this is super fun. I would, and especially you said this was like not that expensive, right?
10 points.
Yeah. I would pay 25 and not even blink.
Really? Wow.
Not even blink.
That's a take.
No, the more you throw, here's the thing with Battle Shock test, Adam, is that a Battle Shock test is worthless. And Battle Shock tests are amazing. There's no planning. You just throw it out there. And it's just like at the start of every turn, you're like, hey, opponent, roll a dice on a 1 or 2, you hate your life. Oh, okay, we can keep playing, no big deal. But sometimes people fail. Like
fair.
Primarchs failed. Sometimes you just make people roll dice. Sometimes funny things happen. I love it.
All right, next one. Archangel Shard. This is the bearer's melee weapons have anti-chaos 5+ and lance. So anti-chaos 5+ is just a straight up nothing burger, because if you have a fist or a thunderhammer, you're wounding everything in the game on at least a 5. So this only really happens if you have a thunderhammer, and you'll get crits more easily on a 5 instead of a 6, which is also kind of a nothing burger. But the lance is quite nice. How do you feel about it?
I like Lance. This is a fine enhancement. It makes the bearer hit harder. This is going on a jump pack captain. That
Yeah.
is okay. Now we're in a new detachment, which means we don't automatically have a lance stratagem, so that's valuable.
Yep.
It doesn't excite me because a captain is just running in with 5 or 6, usually 5, attacks with a good weapon at strength 8. And
Yeah.
Lance does not change the fact that his strength 8 weapon is not soloing a tank. And
Correct.
Lance does not change the fact that he's beating up dudes that are smaller than him quite well.
Correct. And for some reason, this is the most expensive one at 20 points.
Yeah, I'm just not that excited about it.
Me either. Me either. What's the last one? This one is busted. It's only 10 freaking points. This should be 35 as a start. Tell us about it.
Once per turn, when an enemy unit ends a normal advance or fallback move within 9 inches of the bearer's unit can make a normal move of up to 6 inches as long as they're not in engagement range still. Ha!
Yeah.
Do you
Very
like them
nice.
apples?
I like them apples. Yeah, this is auto take.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, this is so good. And I know that this is mostly well known at this point in the edition, but I have to go ahead and offer the clarification right now because if you mess this up, you're screwed. This is not in the movement phase. This is once per turn, not even per game, once per turn, insane. And it's just when it happens. So if you walk up and the elf phantasms move 6 inches, if someone has a reactive move of d6 and you move up within 7 of them and then they roll a 1 or a 2, oh shoot, they just moved 6 inches towards you. Like, oh god.
Yeah.
I
Because they
genuinely I thought this was once per game the first time I read it, and I was like, wow, what a good enhancement.
Dude, it's 15 points in the back of the book. Like, that can't be true. I'd pay 40. 40. It's busted.
If that was 40 points, I would not even hesitate.
Yeah, I'd windmill slam this.
It would never cross my mind not to take that.
So good. I don't know how these gleaming pinions make you move again, but man, they gleam. Oh boy, do they gleam.
Dude, a whole brick of Sanguinary Guard following the shiny jump pack back behind a wall when you try to fall back from them.
That's so good. Oh, man. Yeah. All right. First of the strats, what is it?
Unbridled Ardor, which I believe used to be a little heroic intervention for Sanguinary Guard. It used to be the 6-inch heroic intervention. Yep. Now it's somehow even better. One Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that was just destroyed, and you target the stratagem on them. Cool. Until the end of the battle, each time a Sanguinary Guard unit makes an attack that targets the enemy unit that destroyed your unit, reroll the hit and wound. Ha!
Yes. Man, I will suicide scouts into my opponent's like inner circle knights and Canis Rex so that my Sanguinary Guard don't even have to blink about removing that dude from the entire universe.
And it is reroll hits and wounds and shooting as well. And I know we're mostly thinking about the fact that the Sanguinary Guard rerolling hits and wounds in combat is enough, but like, I don't know, it's Volcon shots, right? When you add reroll hits and wounds, that it adds up. I love this. This is hilarious and it's good.
Sanguinary Guard unit. So does that mean any adjoined characters also get the benefit of this?
Of course it does.
Oh, really? It's almost like I led you down the garden road with that one because a finest hour captain who gets 4 rolls to hit, rolls to wound. Yeah. It's just absolutely removing the entire universe. That's a nicer baton you didn't have anymore.
It's worth pointing out that you don't get finest hour on the jump pack captain, but
that's true.
Hey, maybe he's anti-chaos 5+ because of the Angel Shard.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Oh, look, we finally killed Horus. Anyway. Bustedly amazing stratagem. And of course, this is one of the ones I think, and this is shooting the lead a little bit, I think Angelic Host lives and dies by the points of Sanguinary Guard. Sanguinary Guard absolutely have to be taken in this detachment. Auric Attempt is next one. Then we have Angel's Sacrifice, which is your everybody hit me, only me, please hit me so hard. This is start of the fight phase 1. Attempt to start a jump back in from your army. It's 1 CP. Actually, every stratagem in this book is 1 CP. We hadn't said it before. At the end of the phase, each time an enemy model within engagement range of your unit selects its targets, it must select your unit as the target of its attacks. So, of course, Sanguinor jumps in, does this, punch me, please. A lot of other really cool interactions as well. Fantastic stratagem.
I mean, I love this on 5 jump pack intercessors, just making sure that a unit dies before your Sanguinary Guard gets activate.
Yeah, please kill me, and then 1 CP. Oh, you thought.
Yeah. Luckily, from a counterplay perspective, this is start of the phase, so it's not going to get spent after you interrupt.
Yeah, that is correct.
Which would be backbreaking if someone's like, I interrupt. No. That would suck.
Correct. What I love about this also is that the 1 CP Heroic Intervention makes this strat feel a lot better again. So you can choose to Heroic Intervene a sacrificial unit and then redirect the attacks.
Yeah, that's strong. Up next, we have Martial Exemplars. And that is 1 jump pack unit that is not been selected to fight in this fight phase. Gains lethal hits and precision in melee.
Dang.
Yeah,
it's good.
1 CP lethal, quite good. Precision, when it comes up, is going to be absolutely hilarious. Which is not going to be all the time, but sometimes the Sanguinary Guard are going to say, the character first, also lethal. And then it's an amazing stratagem. Otherwise, it's just good.
Oh, I mean, even just 5 assault assessors with jump packs having precision for the power fist versus, a company commander is kind of terrifying to me as a guard player.
Yeah.
Just
the chainswords will get him at the end of it.
Exactly right. Chainsaws is all you need. Descent of Angels is the next one. Sorry, go.
I was just going to say for Martial Exemplars, the lethal hits part of it, I think, is better than it looks. Because you have lethal access in other parts of Blood Angels, and it's obviously good wherever you get it, because lethal hits is strong. However, this detachment does not have the unit-wide lance or the unit-wide +2 strength in random scenarios that other detachments have. So I think this one, using the base strength characteristic that God gave them, likes lethal more than the other detachments would. So I think that I just wanted to highlight, I think that is important for this detachment to have Martial Exemplars.
Yep, I agree. I think that's a good shout. Descent of Angels, 3-inch deep strike. That's all. 1 CP, 3-inch deep strike.
Shit. Can't charge, normal stuff. But just 5 GPIs, 3-inch deep strike and for mission play. I don't hate it.
Yeah, mission play, or Inceptors already have it. So, oh boy, your 3-inch deep striking suppresses, baby. No.
Yeah, it's for JPIs.
No, yeah, it's jump back possesses. Funnily enough, this is of all the places, of all the detachments that have a 3-inch deep strike, this is the worst one.
Agreed.
This is way the worst one. You don't have all the destroyers or the crisis suits or the insane shooting assets or OC bombs that other detachments have. You just have 5 dudes. One of them has a good weapon.
Yeah, you're just really not. Cute. I don't think you have to use this very often. You'll use it for mission play on a JPI squad occasionally, and that's it.
I never thought I would read that stratagem and shrug.
Yeah.
I never thought I would read that and shrug. Anyway, give us the last one.
All right, the last one is Death from the Skies. Lol. In your charge phase, 1 Adeptus Astartes jump back unit that advanced or fell back this turn is eligible to shoot and charge. So
shoot and charge.
Several.
Piss off. It's the best version of the stratagem in the game.
So you would say that, but it's used in the charge phase.
I don't care. Don't tell me the odds.
So you can't shoot.
You can't shoot. It's really, really dumb.
Yeah, I assume this is going to be changed to movement phase in the next 3 months. But at the moment, it's clearly supposed to be advance or fall back and shoot and charge because it's both. It is for jump packs only because this is other than Armor of Contempt, this is the jump pack detachment. And I like it. It's very funny that it's Death from the Skies when it has literally nothing to do with Deep Strike. But you know what? They're flying and they're killing people, so that's good enough. Great stratagem, though. Great utility stratagem. If they fix the timing of shoot and charge, so that you can do the shooting part of it, it will become even better. But as it is, 1 CP advance and charge. Just what we needed in this detachment, like all the other ones.
Oh man, I'm so annoyed that all three get advanced to charge. That such shits me up the wall. And yes, I swore. Fuck, that's what. Yeah, anyway. And it really pissed me off. Really pissed me off when I was reading this. I'm like, wait, this one gets advanced to charge, that one gets advanced to charge, that one gets advanced to charge. They all just get advanced to charge? What the hell? What the hell are they mean? Like they made us think that they weren't giving out advanced and charge very much anymore. And then they're like, bam, Blood Angels. The advanced to charge, the Codex.
Yeah, great. It's a great stratagem to have. Um, top down, this detachment, it's interesting because it's not hitting as hard as Liberators. Just it's flat out
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, nowhere near actually.
A Sanguinary Guard squad does hit nearly as hard
As what? A jump
as
packing
a Liberator one.
necessity.
No, as
Yeah.
reroll
I
hits
actually
and
mean.
wounds on a Sanguinary
Correct.
Guard unit. It's pretty good when you can pull it off. But there's a hoop to jump through.
Correct.
I like the enhancements a lot. 3-inch deep strike is fine. Lethal hits is pretty good. Angel sacrifice is quite good counter combat. Advance and charge is something you can access otherwise. I think that you have to build this as the all jump pack army that is taking more guns.
Correct.
Because if you're not taking the guns, there's no reason not to be Liberators.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, if you are just a combat army, the detachment rule is actually a detriment to you. You could probably just get closer advancing and charging than picking up and putting down.
Yeah.
So
right?
100% you need to take guns.
Which I like. I like that there is something else to this. A part of me really, even though it's silly, wishes they had changed some of these rules to be fly instead of
Yeah.
jump back, just so that you could do some cool things with like speeders and
Correct.
a Storm Raven.
Yep.
But I understand why you don't really need a Storm Raven to up down anyways. It just would have been funny.
It would have been cute. Overall, this is the detachment that excites me the most, mostly because Liberators is same, and I'm a little bit down on the Death Company detachment. But this one is extremely exciting, and I think the dynamic playstyle of what I think this list looks like, which I think is like 12 to 18 Inceptors, probably 2 units of Sanguinary Guard, and then just MSU good stuff. I feel like that is a very dynamic and well-rounded list going into the current meta. And the up-down nature of it, plus, reactive move, plus all the other little bits and pieces in advance and charge feels pretty good, really.
Yeah, I quite like this detachment. It seems very fun. And it's not as good as melee at Liberators, but it has more tools that are good against melee. Because you are taking Sanguinary Guard for this attachment, you just are. And then you get Angel Sacrifice and reactive moves. Yep. And if you kill something, I punish you horribly. And then you're downing the whole time. And it's like, to me, this is the one I like the most. I don't know if it's better than Liberators, but it's a lot. It looks more fun, and it's more my playstyle for sure.
Yeah, straight up, I don't think it is going to be better than Liberators, who just have a baseline. We are just always better all the time. But I feel like Blood Angels players are just going to be very refreshed and very excited to play this because it is new. It is different. It is a completely different way to play with exactly the same models. I think this is the best thing I can say about the Codex. Like, you can build a 2,000 point Blood Angels list to be used in this Codex. And that same list is probably just fine in all 3 detachments. The same 2,000 points can be played like respectably in all 3 detachments, which is not something I could say for any Codex previously.
Yeah. And it makes sense that we're getting a release that has more limited data sheets. It's all about the Blood Angels data sheets. But fair enough, right? Fair enough.
Agreed.
I would be quite happy with this as a Blood Angel player, I think, because
me too.
At a minimum, 2 of these detachments look very viable, very thematic, very different play styles, but you don't even have to buy new models.
Yeah, 100%. And plus, I would look at the Dark Angels one and be like, "Oh, we got better than them. Yeah, we should be happy."
Yeah, at least we have the Knights.
Yes. All right. Jumping down, let's go through some of these data sheets. Some, for the vast majority of the time, a lot of these are very similar to their previous contemporaries. Has Commander Dante changed at all?
I don't believe that Dante has changed really at all. I think that the Axe Mortalis got a little bit better because it attacks at strength 8. My memory is that it used to be 7.
Yeah.
Which means now that, of course, he is strength 10 in Liberators, which is hilarious. But
Yep.
otherwise, he's the same thing. He's a good combat. Gives his unit +1 to advance. Oh, this is new. +1 advance and charge. I think it was just charge, but it's
Yep.
now advance
Yep.
and charge. And +1 to hit in combat. And then he does a battle shock test and a 6-inch pulse at the start of the fight phase, a rule that I love.
I like that. That is one of the finest fight phase battle shocks. But yeah, the +1 advance, +1 charge when every single detachment has advance and charge is kind of just sick. And if his points aren't obscene, I think he's extremely takeable.
Yeah. Oh, the Perdition pistol also gained a point of strength. I opened the app. He gained +1 strength on both of his weapons.
Nice.
Great. Good for him.
Sanguinor is much unchanged. I believe it's actually entirely unchanged.
I believe the Sanguinor is entirely unchanged. He still does the exact same mechanic as before, which was good. His weapon appears to be the same as before. This is good. Okay.
Mephiston, if he is under 200 points, could be busted. He is a toughness 5, 2-up, 5-up, 6 wound lone operative with fights first and a 4-up freaking feel no pain. He could be absolutely broken. If he's 150 points, he's better than Primarchs. He's better than the Primarchs in the game. How do you feel about this dude?
He's crazy. His combat weapon is now 6 attacks at 9 minus 3 D3 damage.
Yeah.
He still has a good Witchfire. He's very strong, and we haven't even talked about his rules.
Yeah,
because you rattled off the 3 rules he has, but he has 3 core rules in addition to 2 abilities, and the 2 abilities are advance and charge. God.
Oh,
and
shit.
yeah, here we go again. And a 6-inch aura of take a leadership test if you want to fall back. And if you fail, you have to remain stationary.
He's cracked.
That's insane.
He is everything. He's a debuff. He is a buff. He is now the most durable infantry lone up in the game. He's like literally. Yeah. It's actually comparable. Who's more durable, Mephiston or the Ghost Keel? Because I know it's crazy. Yeah, he better be 200 points, man. He had better be 200 points.
He's gonna be
nuts.
In every Blood Angels list ever will include Mephiston. And because the thing is that he's not going to come out at 200, Adam, and we both know it. He's going to come out and be like 130 or something
135.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. The fact that you have him and the Sanguinor, and I'm just going to say it right now, the Sanguinor in Angelic Host is kind of busted because you get to deploy him on the table and play him as just an ultra durable, like 7 wound, 2-up, 4-up lone operative, and then put him back into deep strike when the combats are going to happen, or when your opponent's going to try and counter assault you, and then use his arrive from reserved and go straight into combat thing. So the two of them together terrify me. The fact that Sanguinor and Mephiston can be in the same army. Oh, look, I'm gonna go play Angelic Host. I'm gonna, deploy Sanguinor on a side objective, and he's just lone up. And if you want to try and push and kill the Sanguinor, lol, I will annihilate your army. And then here's Mephiston gonna go fight on a flank. Oh, I'm gonna put the Sanguinor back into reserve. Oh, you tried to kill Mephiston. Haha, Sanguinor.
I will give you a small caveat, Adam. That doesn't work.
Lol. Oh, good. Thank God.
The up down specifically has the clause where you come in the next reinforcement step. You don't get to hold them.
That's fine. Actually,
still kind of fine.
You don't get to use his rule. Praise be. I'm so happy about that, actually.
Yeah, but Mephiston is, I think he's the best lone operative we've seen in 10th edition.
It's disgusting.
The feel no pain being a 4+.
I don't understand. Me. How have you not learned that 4 feel no pain is a problem, JW? Cease.
Go Enough. Your fun in. Mephiston's gonna go up 40 points in January.
Yeah.
Like 40 points. He is crazy good.
I already want him deleted.
I'm already mad about what's going to be happening to me so many times with. But yeah, giving a no fallback rule to Blood Angels is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's also so good at everything else.
He kind of just shoots good too. He's got a plasma pistol and a quality psychic attack. The focus Witchfire, which is pistol, shoots into combat. If it trapped you in combat, he's still going to shoot you. Sustained hits 3. 18-inch, 3 shots, 5-2 D3. So yeah, one of those is likely to be a 6. It's going to end up being like 4 or 5 hits. Yeah, it's just really good. Really, really good.
All right. So that's Mephiston. Know his name well. We will all be angry about it soon.
Yeah. Astaroth, tell us a story. Is he changed at all? Yeah, I think he got a wound.
He got +2 attacks and +1 wound. So he is a 5 wound Space Marine character with a 6 attacks, 7/3/2 dev wound axe. He still gives his unit dev wounds. He still gives his unit 4+ fight on death. He can only join a jump pack Death Company squad. And actually, we should mention it. Mephiston does not join people anymore. He's a lone operative, and he does not join anything.
Yeah, correct.
I like Astaroth more than before.
Me too.
Because you lost fight on death in some situations, and I feel like you're going to need the dev wound damage buff a little more than you did before. Right.
You don't have infinity power fists, so the dev wounds does mean something now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. Lamartis with his Baal gag, love it.
I love the Lamartis model. It's so cool.
It's so cool. It's my favorite model. And I'll say it's my favorite model right now because he's standing appropriately on his freaking base. He's a jump pack model with his feet flat. I love it. Please do that more often. He looks sick. Yep. He's not jumping off some stupid crap with like a tiny little contact point. Tell us a story here. He's exactly the same, right?
I believe he's exactly the same. If he's not the same, he is so close that I don't care. Maybe he gained a pip of AP on his Blood Crozius. He definitely has a new bolt pistol. He has the Judiciar bolt pistol instead of the regular bolt pistol. Yep. It means it's 5-1-2 instead of 4-0-1, which is adorable, but doesn't actually matter. Yeah, he's still good. He's a -1 damage caddy for Death Company with jump packs. He still gives them lethal hits, which is probably more important now because you don't have a 10 power fist anymore. Correct. The unit he joined got worse, but he is still good.
Absolutely right. I think it's more necessary now because the unit got worse. All right. Blood Angel Captain is just a captain. Fair. And Death Company Captain is a
pistol. That's it.
Yeah, correct. Death Company Captain is a captain that gives his squad Scout 6 and has the Black Rage and everything else you would expect with a captain. Without the Rise of Battle, doesn't give anything freebies, but just soups himself up really good.
Yeah, and then instead of having the Finest Hour, which again, because you can only give that enhancement to a Death Company captain, because these are the only things with a Death Company keyword, he doesn't hit as hard.
Hilarious.
He does mortal wounds when he dies. So if the model is destroyed by a melee attack, after the enemy is finished, roll a dice, adding 2 if the attacking unit contains the enemy warlord. On a 2+, D3 mortals. On a 4+, 3 mortals. On a 6, D3 + 3. And that's adorable, right? If someone comes and punches out your captain, they will take 3 mortals a good amount of the time.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's cute. That's it. Other than that, he's a Death Company.
Yeah.
Profile.
Death Company captain with jump pack, which is, I think, far more exciting. You get sustain hits 1 on the unit that he joins, and then he has the Black Rage, which is the same, and Death Vision, which is the same as the previous.
Yeah, so he still has Black Rage, same rolls before, and he gets the mortal wounds when he dies, but sustained 1 instead of Scout on a jump pack unit is good. You want sustained on jump pack Death Company because you need them to hit harder because they don't have 10 power fists.
Agreed. It's time to talk about the things that aren't in this book. Pour one out for Tycho. You know, long live his name. He was around for like a good 30 odd freaking years in the lore, and now he's dead. Who else was gone? Gabriel Seth is deleted. I hope to see Gabriel Seth back one day because he'd be amazing as Primaris with a massive Eviscerator. We'd have no Librarian Dreadnought has been deleted. What else? Anything else we lost? Jump Pack Sang Priest, which is a huge omission. You there, John?
Mr. Adam.
Yeah. You back? I can hear you. Three, two, one. Who else did we miss? Anybody else deleted?
Brother Corbulo.
Oh, not Corby. He was my favorite.
And yeah, that and the Jump Pack Sanguinary Priest.
Yeah. The jump pack Sang Priest is huge. Not having access to 5-up Feel No Pain essentially on any jump pack unit, I secretly, as a non-Blood Angels player, I'm like, yes. But also I lamented a little bit for years because I feel like this is going to suck. I mean, the Sang Priest is still amazing. Gives 5-up Feel No Pain and increased AP by 1 to any unit they joins. But I'm just like, what unit does it join now? What, Blade Guard?
Nope, he doesn't
Doesn't even
join
join.
Blade Guard.
You can't join Blade Guard.
It's assault. It's assault intercessors.
What, you mean it's not tactical squad?
What about the Desolation Squad?
Yikes. But yeah, how do you feel about the loss of the jump pack Sang Priest? Is that just going to be a huge death knell to a couple of different units? Because I feel like the Vanguard vets feel quite a bit worse without it.
Yeah, Vanguard vets absolutely feel like they're going to suffer. I would not be surprised if we no longer saw them in Blood Angel lists at all,
Yeah.
frankly.
Yep.
That feels like a big loss for that unit. So again, I like the detachments, but the data sheets have question marks for me. And we kind of got to see where those points end up to see if there's going to be stuff worth taking.
Well, tell us about the one that it probably all pivots off. Sanguinary Guard right now in the back of the book cost 50 points each, which is kind of fair when you contend with the fact that they're essentially jump pack Custodial Guard. But take it away, mate. Tell us about this unit.
Yeah, so a Sanguinary Guard is a flying Space Marine. As an elite Space Marine, they are now 3 wounds. They still pack a 2-up armor save, but they have been gifted a 4+ invulnerable save out of the blue. So the defense, 4-up invuln plus 1 wound, is significantly more than before. Their offense, shooting-wise, is what you'd think. It's an Angelus bolt gun and Inferno pistol, but you only get 1 Inferno pistol per squad now instead of 6 or 10 or however many it was before. It's now just 1 per squad, no matter how big it is. The melee, let's actually just mention it. These are now 3 or 6, not 5 or 10.
Correct.
So they got a sweet new model. And then the melee is improved. The Encarmin Blade is 4 attacks at 6 minus 3/2, which is just plus 1 AP. And you get the option to take the Encarmin Spear if you want, which is 3 attacks at 6/2/2 Lance. So you basically get your choice of would you rather have plus 1 attack, plus 1 AP, or Lance?
I think like 90% of the time I'm taking the Blade.
I agree. I think I'm taking that Blade.
Especially from Liberators. 5 attacks a pop. Strength 8. Yeah, let's go. And access to Lance in there anyway. So you're not really missing out. But yeah, I do feel like the Blade is like the ubiquitous, almost all the time better. Also, you get the banner, which just means you're OC2, so you're OC 12 on a unit of 6. And you have the same -1 to hit all the time and -1 to wound if you're attached with a character. So, man, 2-up, 4-up, 3 wounds, -1 to hit, -1 to wound. They're actually, 3 wounds. They are hard to kill.
Yeah. And strength 6 is notably juicy. When they get that -1 to hit and wound in melee, it's awesome. And it's worth pointing out this is a minor change on the -1 to wound because it's when a character leads them, not when the Warlord leads
them. Correct. So multi-units are way better.
Exactly. Multiple units of Sanguinary Guard is much more viable than before, which is good because they're in the combat patrol, and you're going to see them if they cost anything reasonable.
Yeah.
I honestly think 50 points is not unfair for these guys.
I don't think it's busted for 50 points. I could see them coming down like 3 to 5 points and still not being broken. Any more than that, and we got a problem. When windmill slamming 18 of these into your army feels just fine, the world will end.
That would be bad.
It'll be really bad. Right now, it's 900 points to take 18, which I can live with. If you want to spend half your army on these 3 units, I can live with that.
Some people are going to do it.
100%. So the models are gorgeous. I mean, even though they don't have nice nipples, or any nipples for that fact. Death Company moves Bolt Rifle, so Death Company Intercessors. These guys, they're really trying to push these guys. So, I mean, I'm not even going to bother telling you about the weapons, except for the fact that they can take an Eviscerator. Lol, yay, finally. But Eviscerator is back in Primaris. Black Rage, of course, they get the 4 rolls to hit and all that good stuff. They need the Chaplain there to have OC. But Visions of Heresy, this is kind of cute. Once per turn, you can target this unit with the Fire Overwatch strat or the Heroic Intervention strat for 0 CP. Once per turn. While resolving this stratagem, each time a model in this unit would make a ranged attack, you can reroll the hit roll. So it's a re-rolling to hit Overwatch, which is cute. Or you can reroll the charge roll if you made the heroic intervention. They're actually trying really hard to push this unit, I think. And it's still not enough.
It's not. I mean, yeah, because it's just an intercessor squad. You get bolt guns, and then the sergeant gets the things an intercessor sergeant gets, and that's cool, right? You know, it's not like it's bad in combat. It is an intercessor profile.
Yep.
And that's fine. You can attach a chaplain.
Yep. You wouldn't attach a chaplain.
Yeah, I'm not that excited.
No, but they're trying really hard, and I appreciate it. Try harder though, because they're just not there. I'm still waiting for the day they make intercessors and heavy intercessors feel good in 10th edition. Tell us about Death Company with jump packs. Is there actually any reason to go with regular Death Company Marines at the moment? I feel like they're the one that's getting squished between the scrum of the changes.
Yeah, so Death Company Marines on foot, you do get everything with chain swords. You still have the same Black Rage roll, which I don't know if we actually said out loud. It's reroll hits in combat, and you can't fall back unless you're within 12 of a chaplain, and your OC 0 unless you're within 12 of a chaplain. Cool. I still quite like this data sheet. While so each time this unit makes an attack, if it's below starting strength, sustained 1. If it's below half strength, sustained 2. And remember that you have inherent reroll hits just baked in here.
Yeah.
Then you get mixed weapons, so you're no longer just 10 Inferno pistols and Power Fists here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just break down what a 5-man is going to have. If you take 5, you're going to have 1 guy with an Eviscerator.
Yep.
1 guy with a Power Fist or Thunderhammer. And
Correct.
the Eviscerator, just to give it, because it's semi-new, is 3 attacks at 7/2/2, weapon skill 4, and it has sustained hits 1, which feels like a Namba with the unit rule, but whatever.
Correct.
So it's a 5-man is 1 Eviscerator, 1 Power Fist. If you take a 10-man, it's 2 Eviscerators, 1 Power Fist. Mm-hmm. And no matter how many models are in the squad, you get 1 Inferno pistol, which I don't care about.
This is one of the reasons why I feel like this one's being squished out. It's just not enough.
Yeah. Chainswords are good. Chainswords with reroll hits and sustained 1 are quite good. If you are running the Lost Brethren Detachment, I think I would take 10 with a chaplain so that at some point I get out of there with 5 attack, strength 5, AP 2, plus 1 to wound chainswords. With reroll hits and sustained hits, and then I reroll 1s to wound. But really, this unit does not hit appreciably harder than 5 regular assault intercessors.
Correct. That's what I was about to say.
And it's going to cost more.
I was about to say, like, they're very good chainswords, but they're not the best chainswords for their points. And that's pretty much where my vision of these guys are now. Like, cool, they're an extremely good chainsword unit. I think I can get better chainsword units is the issue. Death Company Marines Assault with jump packs. Everything we just said applies here. The same kit, I think. For every 5,
it is slightly different kit.
Slightly
better.
Yeah.
They're
inherently reroll charge rolls, which is good, very good, especially with advances and charges, and they have the same Black Rage. But yeah, break down the weapon outfits.
Okay, so you get for every 5, 1 Eviscerator. For every 5, 1 funny pistol and combat weapon, and then you get 1 power weapon. So what that means is a 5-man is going to have 1 Eviscerator, 2 Power Fists, 2 pistols, but one of those has to be a plasma pistol because it's the JPI kit with an upgrades bro. And then the 10-man, it's 2 Eviscerator, 3 Power Fist, 3 pistols.
100% the 5s are better. The 5s get so much more juice.
I really don't mind a 5-man with 2 Power Fists and an Eviscerator and 2 pistols. And it's not the same as 5 Power Fists, but the 2 Chainsword guys, I really don't mind. The problem is like a 5-man doesn't scream out for a character.
Correct.
But then without a character, specifically a jump pack chaplain, I'm a little less excited.
Yeah, I mean, I still think you maybe what I think it is now is that you're taking you know, 15 3x5. Lamarty's is in one of them, and they act like a blob.
Yeah,
They
and I
act
think
like
you
a
do that.
single.
I
Yeah,
think that's fine.
they all 15 operate in Lamarty's orbit, is the way I see it. But yeah, these guys feel so much better than the walking. It's not even close to me. Next up, we have the only dreadnought in here, which is the Death Company dreadnought, which is now a Brutalis Death Company dreadnought, who has surge move, who has blood move, like the same thing as the
I
cool
lo-
berserkers.
I love
Sorry,
this. I
me too.
love
I'm not sure
this.
it's good, but I love it. Tell
Yeah,
me,
but it's so
tell me the story.
it's a Brutalis Dreadnought, so it's a T10 2-up armor save Dreadnought with 12 wounds. It has a 6-up feel no pain, which is adorable.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like that. It has the Brutalis weapons, except they're Blood Fists, which are the exact same as Brutalis weapon. So it's what it is, because you're going to take the fists, not the talons. You're going to take the fists, and then the
Talons are
fists
bad.
come with some good guns. And the fist is just going to be 6 attacks at 12 -2 flat 3 twin linked. You are Death Company. You have Black Rage. That means you get reroll hits, and you get the no fallback / OC problem if you're not near a chaplain. But whatever, you're a dreadnought. Get over it. And that just means that the Brutalis rerolls hits and wounds in combat at all points, which is amazing. And then you're just looking at Driven by Fury. When your opponent shoots you, you can make a Driven by Fury move. And you can roll 1d6 and then add 2 to the result. And then you move that number of inches, and you have to end as close as possible to the enemy. You can't do this while you're battle shocked. You can only do this once per turn. Per phase, I should say.
Yeah,
And this
you
happens
can't.
in the shooting phase, so it won't happen if you Overwatch. It's a
Yep,
little unclear if you can get in combat. Rules is written yes, because only normal moves and fallback moves have the restriction of no go in combat. But every other instance of this says, and you can end in combat, and this one
correct,
doesn't.
correct. I'm
So
of
I'm
the
not really sure what they
assumption.
meant.
Yeah, I'm of the assumption that you can't because of the precedent set by all the others, which is annoying. But I think I would not be surprised if they change it so that you can.
Yeah. If you
I have,
can't, I don't like this as much. But if you can get in combat, I like it.
yeah, because it's omitted. I have to assume that you can't because every other one says that you can. Like it's permissive. All the other ones are permissive and give you the permission to do it. So yeah, I freaking hate that it's on the AP2 in combat. God, it pisses me off. Like armor contempt, lol. I'm taking 3 up armor saves, and you do
Yeah.
nothing with your dreadnought. But it looks sick.
I see. Here's the dirty secret. I love the Brutalis Dreadnought for Space Marines. I think it's actually very good. I play with it often. I run one in several of my lists. I even have a list that has 2 of them. I think the Brutalis Dreadnought is actually a great data sheet. I am very willing to trade Charge Mortals for a Blood Surge and reroll hits,
Yeah,
and I get worse when there's no chaplain nearby. That is a trade I'm very willing to make, especially with the 6-up pain on top. If this is a small points increase over a
correct.
Brutalis, if this is a Brutalis plus 15, I'm super down. I like it. I just like this data sheet.
Mm, fair. And then the last data sheet is your Baal Predator, which is exactly unchanged, entirely unchanged, and phenomenally unsupported in this codex.
Well,
Entirely unsupported. You have
it
Armor of Contempt. Congratulations.
it is changed in very minor ways. It no longer advances and shoots at infantry. It now has assault on all its weapons.
That's better.
It is strictly better, but it is the same Bell Predator that you know and may or may not love, and it can now advance and shoot at tanks, which is cool, right? I don't mind.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah, totally great. The Ball Predator is a good, solid tank that is not mandatory right now, and when this codex comes out, it will be a good, solid tank that is not mandatory then.
Yep, agreed.
If you take Ball Predators, no problem.
I still like Lava One of in most Blood Angels lists. I think it's
Yeah.
cute. Overwatch threat is nice, and it's something that people just can't straight up like. Oh, you don't do anything until you punch me in your list. All right, man. That brings us to the end of the review. Closing thoughts, my dude, before we do our usual rating system.
The detachments are good. I think from a flavor perspective, this codex, and for what we knew was going to happen, because we knew that the Warrior stuff was happening. I think that this is a very well done codex because they made the detachments interesting and there's
Yep.
actual choices. In a lot of codexes, there aren't real detachment choices, and especially in codexes with only 3 or 4 detachments, it often feels like you're going one way. I like that for a codex supplement, they gave at minimum 2 very interesting, good ways to play Blood Angels.
Yeah.
The power, we don't really know yet.
Yeah, the points in the back of the book would lead me to if the points in the back of the book are legit, this will be an okay but thoroughly a nerf to Blood Angels. Like it will be undeniably a nerf to Blood Angels if the points in the back of the book are correct. The points at the back of the book will have to go like not significantly go down, but they'll have to be less than they are now. I mean, how many points is Mephisto in the back here? Let me just have a look. 125.
Yeah, you're gonna hate that.
125.
I was genuinely about to say that I don't know if that's true. Like Death Company, if Death Company with jump pack is, I don't know what it is right now is the problem, but 5 Death Company with jump packs is 115 in this codex, and that feels a little too expensive compared to the going rate of a
jump pack
intercessor.
Yeah,
but I still think if that went down 10 points, I would do it. Frankly, at 300 for 6, I still might take Sanguinary Guard. Just being honest here, Sanguinary Guard is such a good data sheet that I might just take it at 300. And I think if it goes down at all, you slam minimum 12 in a list.
Yeah. I think it's totally fine.
You're taking a ton.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's the Death Company moves of jump packs and the Sangard points that are pretty much the 2 that are going to determine the fate of this codex. Everything else is fine. I mean, I'm furious at Mephisto and Sangrador combined being less than 300 points. That's insane to me. But here we are. So, time to rate this bad boy. Out of 10, my dude, how happy do you think Blood Angels players will be with this book?
7. I think there's good upside. There's a lot of things to like, but at the end of it, Blood Angel players want Death Company to be absolutely insane damage dealers that destroy everything that they touch, and they are no longer that.
Yeah, that is fair. I mean, dude, look, they destroy 85% of the things they touch, you know? People bemoaning that their 10, Lamarty's 10 Power Fist unit doesn't kill anything anymore. I'm like, dude, it overkilled the sun previously. Chill. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can kill a little less hard and still kill everything. Yeah. I think the loss of lethality of the community has thought is happening is overstated, mostly because I think your 5 guys kill just about any other 5 guys in the game still. And that's pretty much the only terms you should be looking at it. Your 5 guys going and killing a Lehman Russ tank commander is not a thing they should have done before. I think I think people are going to be like 6 to 7 out of 10 happy with this, mostly because I think it's going to be a perceived nerf no matter how it gets chopped up. But how strong do you think this will be? Will Blood Angels maintain S tier in this codex?
My instinct is no. My instinct is that they're probably going to keep Sanguinary Guard the points there on the back of the book, which I think they should, to be clear. I think at 300 points for 6, you still take Sanguinary Guard. I think that they're going to drop A tier.
I would be surprised. I mean, if they're an A tier, what's the problem? Yeah. Good. They're another balanced, well-rounded faction.
Yeah. With multiple attachments. That's a good place to be in.
I think
it's much better to get a nerf with some flavor in the form of your codex than to sit around and wait for GW to go nerf you themselves.
Yeah, I totally agree. Way better for it to happen via this, and then maybe in a couple of weeks, couple of months, you get a couple of little buffs, little tweaks, and make things a little bit more interesting as well. But yeah, I think this is overall a very good codex, and of course, if we compare it to its only contemporary, that being the Dark Angels Codex, this thing is heads and shoulders better than the Dark Angels Codex. So, got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I'd be happy as a Blood Angel player.
Yeah. All right, mate, we are done. We are out of here. We're going to go over and record part 2, going to answer some questions and build some lists. If you want to get that goodness, come over to Art of War Down Under over on Patreon. Hope you guys will stick around and enjoy the song that I'm chucking on from my brother after this. We'll go with We Can Never Win, I think. That's a good song. Have you noticed? I don't know if you paid attention, John, or you listen to my show, but I'm putting my brother's a beautiful album that I adore that my brother made. I'm using those songs as my outros, and hopefully it's been going down good with the masses. But so far, most people are pretty responsive to it. And of course, it's the outro. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. It's easy, baby. Logic. I actually think we lost John. I think he's bailed. I think he's had enough.
No, I thought you were doing the outro.
No, we're
There
done.
you go. No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Well, we're out now. Now we're doing the outro. Say goodnight, John. We're done.
Bye bye.